Here we have a new 2025 Honda CR-V. Now this one's a two-wheel drive model, comes in the EXL trim level. We get the platinum white pearl paint, and then we have gray leather interior. For the powertrain, we get a 190 horsepower turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that's mated to a continuously variable transmission. So as you come around the front end here, LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights. And I really like how they did a good job at kind of making these all linear in terms of the CR-V, the Pilot, the Accord, even the Civic. They all look sleek, but in their own way. And down here we get 18-inch alloy wheels. We get passive keyless entry on the front, memory seat functions, one-touch automatic up and down windows on all 4 doors, power door locks, power mirrors, rear window lock. And then over here we have our power lift gate control, hood latch right there. Get a manual tilt, telescoping steering wheel. And then here's our power driver's seat. We have 2-way power lumbar support as well. But I had that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So we're gonna check out the room behind us. Now this vehicle stickers for $36,805. And I wanna give a big thank you to Darrell Waltrip Honda for allowing me to review the CR-V today. I'll leave a link below in the description. And then if you're interested in finding one in your area, just make sure you click the link below, fill out that info. It takes a minute or two, and we can make sure you get your best price in your area. But there's a view of the front from back here. And the space is phenomenal in this SUV. I have several inches of headroom, even with the sunroof. Leg room is very good. Again, having the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size. Seat back pocket here. Rear AC vents, we get 2 USB-C charge ports. And then our middle seat folds down, 2 bottle holders here. And this is actually a really good armrest. I love how plush it is. Let's see what color these lights are. Okay, we do get the LED dome light back here, which is good. Grab handle, we can hang a shirt or pair of pants there on that hook. Let's go ahead and make our way towards the back. Capless fuel filler there. And to the back end, really like the rear design of the tail lights. Very good look. Rear sensors are integrated in that bumper there. And we do have a dual exhaust. Let's go ahead and pop the lift gate. And one thing I've always said about the CR-Vs, I like that the cargo space you kind of have to dig down into. It's not like up higher, because it gives you more space overall because the actual cargo area is taller. And then if you look down here, spare tires right there. We don't get a legitimate side pocket, but we do have these little barriers here which kind of turn these into side pockets. And it was, you know, a cheap fix, and it was kind of smart, I think, because you can also remove those if you don't want them. 12 volts here. Now we have 2 tethers on the back here for your car seat. And I'll show you how we can fold these down. We also have the rear side airbags, which is a nice touch. We can grab this handle, fold that flat. We can also go ahead and use it to recline as well. So pretty adjustable seat there. And then I like that the anchors are actually just in the back of the seat. They're not necessarily intruding on your back while you're sitting, but they're very easy to get to. And then to our front passenger seat, you have a power seat back and seat bottom. Lockable glove compartment here. They're the owner's manuals. And then our vents are integrated right in here. Like that trim. And as we come back around to the front, we're gonna take a quick look in the engine bay. And there's that turbocharged 4-cylinder there. Let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat next. So nice leather wrap steering wheel here. Feels really nice, and the leather feels genuine as well. I like that. There's the horn. Now over here to the radio, Here we get AM, FM, and then we also have XM, Bluetooth audio, and we also have wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility, which is a nice touch there. General settings, you can go in here, mess with your smartphone connections, your system settings here, so you can change your date and time, language, and all of that. And then you can also go to your vehicle settings, and in here you can mess with the tire pressure monitors and your meter setup if you want to change your speed distance from US to metric, you can do that. Backup cameras here, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. And I just like how everything is simple here. You can click that, turn the audio off, adjust the volume there, and then we can go through track lists or radio stations there. And then when you're in the actual audio source, you can save your presets just by holding the screen there. Now down here we get our dual zone automatic climate controls with 3-stage heated seats. We can adjust temperature on either side there, sync and unsync, fan speed, then you can click to turn the whole system off. And then down here, wireless charging pad, USB-A, USB-C charge port, 12 volt. And then for your shifter, grab this lever, reverse, neutral drive, sport. Then you have your low gear there. And then for your drive modes, you have normal, econ, and snow. And then auto stop toggle, downhill brake control, electronic parking brake, brake hold, bottle holders here, center console cubby space, and then sunshade. We can tilt or slide this roof, so I'm gonna one-touch slide it just so we can see how wide it opens. So pretty good there. And there's a look at the back seat from up here. Sunglasses holder, all of those controls. And then we have our vanity mirror here. But back to the steering wheel, blinkers, high beams, flash, and then we have our auto headlamps here. Intermittent wipers, one time off, intermittent low high. We can adjust that intermittent frequency here, and then adjust our rear wiper here, and pull that way or that way for the rear wiper fluid, pull up for the front wiper fluid. And then back to the steering wheel itself, we can go through track list, radio station presets there, volume, and then we have our adaptive cruise, lane centering, gap adjust for the adaptive cruise. We can set our speed, cancel the cruise there, and then voice recognition, and this home button and the scroll bar is just to go through the left side of the gauge cluster there. So if you want to pull up certain menus, you can. So quite a bit you can see there. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. And next, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Honda CR-V EXL out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this CR-V, like how easy these are to drive. They're relatively quick, and then they also have very good fuel economy. But just having this in the econ mode, it's keeping up with traffic pretty well. I like the steering feel, and it's just very quiet in the cabin so far. Now, in this stop and go traffic, the econ mode, it is easier, I feel, to maneuver. And I think Honda's econ modes are just that good in the sense that when you're driving in traffic, you're not trying to go anywhere fast. You're not trying to, you know, bust a move here or there. The econ mode is perfect to just keep up with the flow of traffic. Now, of course, you can put the shifter in the sport mode, put the drive mode in a normal, and you'll have quite a bit of pickup there, but just how I'm driving now, the econ's absolutely perfect. But I'll go ahead and put it into the normal mode now, and I definitely feel it get a bit peppier. And then when I put in the sport mode, the transmission revs just a bit hotter there. But all in all, I mean, what makes these such good vehicles, I think, is the fact that they're so simple to operate. You get behind the wheel of one of these, you don't feel like you're having to relearn your car. And even though it has a turbo 4, it drives like the older 2.4 4-cylinders in the CRVs that have the traditional transmission. I think that says a lot about Honda, just in how they want to keep their vehicles the same even as they change. Because a lot of CRV buyers that have older CRVs love their CRV so much they want to get a newer one. And you want to make sure that you're keeping the reliability up while also keeping the overall drivability as simple as possible. And they did a pretty good job with that. Now the overall pickup again in the normal is very impressive. And you don't have to rev the engine as hot as you would expect either. But the steering dynamics are pretty good, not too loose, not too tight. And then the brake pedal feel goes pretty well with the car itself. When you put your foot on the brake, you get a very small, I don't even want to call it an initial bite. It's like a slow lowering, or I guess a slow clenching of the teeth, which I like. So it doesn't scare you when you hit the brake. We're gonna put it into sport now. Coming out of this corner. And yeah, it wants to go when you do that. But not something that I would use every day with this vehicle, just for what it is. But if you want to, you can. But especially with it being newer, I don't want to necessarily rev it up too high, so I'm going to put it back into the normal drive mode for the rest of the test drive. Now, in terms of what you get for the money, I think you do get quite a bit in this EXL trim. But we're going to go ahead and give it some throttle getting on the interstate here. Just a tad. Here we go. So pretty linear power curve there, and I appreciate that. We're just gonna test out the adaptive cruise and lane centering for a second before I get off of this exit. But I wanna give one more thank you to Darrell Waltrip Honda for allowing me to borrow the CRV for the review. I'll leave a link below in the description if you're interested in this vehicle and you're in the area. If you're not in our area, go ahead and click the link down below for new car quotes, and I'll go ahead and start the process getting your local dealers fighting to give you that best price. But I think the CRV is still pretty solid. Drivability is good. Overall maneuverability is good. Space in here is fantastic for this kind of SUV. It really does give the Nissan Rogue a run for its money. And no complaints here. So this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Honda CRV in the EXL trim.